Each Gazans. Madam Deputy Speaker, I quote Mr. Netanyahu. He says, just enough to prevent hunger. Fewer than 10 trucks entered Gaza yesterday. The UN and the World Health Organization have issued stark warnings of the threat of starvation hanging over hundreds of thousands of civilians. Madam Deputy Speaker, this is abominable. Civilians in Gaza facing starvation, homelessness, trauma, desperate for this war to end, now confront renewed bombardment, new displacement, and new suffering. And the remaining hostages, kept apart from their loved ones by Hamas for almost 600 days, are now at heightened risk from the war around them. Madam Deputy Speaker, 2 months ago, the ceasefire collapsed. Since then, the humanitarian catastrophe has rapidly...
Israel broke the ceasefire, and since then they bombarded it. 600 people died.
Leaving the World Food Programme.
They broke the ceasefire, not Gaza.
Israel has repeatedly struck hospitals, with 3 more hospitals in northern Gaza ceasing operations this weekend. Yet more aid workers and medical workers have been killed. After last year proved the deadliest year on record for humanitarian personnel, the diplomatic deadlock between Israel and Hamas has sadly also hardened. Despite the efforts of the United States, Qatar, and Egypt, which we of course support, no ceasefire has emerged. We repeat our demand that Hamas release all the hostages immediately and unconditionally, and reiterate that they cannot continue to run Gaza. Madam Deputy Speaker, we are now entering a dark new phase.
You've got to do something against him. Either sanctions for his country, cut off diplomatic arrangements, hit his banks and stop letting him trading with the world. You've got to hit him where it hurts, not keep on saying, oh, you mustn't do it, sir, you mustn't do it.
We need to cut all this malarkey crap and start giving them what they deserve in return.
Destroying what's left of residents, Palestinians,
Malarkey's going to go nowhere.
being relocated, he said, to third countries. We must call this what it is. It is extremism. It is dangerous. It is repellent. It is monstrous, and I condemn it in the strongest possible terms. Madam Deputy Speaker, Israel suffered a heinous attack on October the 7th, and the government has always backed Israel's right to defend itself. We have condemned Hamas and its abhorrent treatment of the hostages, and we have stood with families and demanded their loved ones be released. It's morally unjustifiable, it's wholly disproportionate, it's utterly counterproductive. Whatever Israeli ministers claim, this is not the way to bring the hostages safely home. Nearly all the hostages have been freed through negotiations, not military force. And that is why hostage families themselves and many other Israelis oppose.
Gaza still got 60 hostages that they took prisoner on October the 7th 2 years ago. Israel says, we're not going to stop bombing you until we get our hostages back. So it's stalemate. And Gaza says, well, we're not going to give you your hostages back until you stop bombing us.
I think it's lack of common sense and respect.
Well, the Israeli man, he's always been a warmonger, always. Right from years back. He said, if Gaza killed one of his soldiers, he would kill 5 in return. I mean, that's years and years back.
Suspended arms, export licenses. We provided food and medical care to hundreds and thousands of Gazans. We've worked with Arab partners on a plan to ensure a reconstructed Gaza no longer run by Hamas. And since Israel restarted strikes on Gaza, this government has demanded Israel change course. Privately, in my conversations with Foreign Minister Saab and Strategic Affairs Minister Durban, publicly repeated joint statements with my French and German counterparts, we've made clear that Israel's actions are intolerable.
You notice when anything important is being talked about, Starmer isn't there.
Council and before the International Court of Justice. Yesterday, the Right Honourable friend of the Prime Minister joined leaders from France and Canada strongly opposing the expansion of Israel's military operations.
I don't think he really gives a damn, Starmer, to be honest.
As long as he keeps his position as Prime Minister.
Criticising Israel's
He's used more up in flights, money in flights, since he's been in power than the whole of the Conservatives did in the last 3 years. Just flying here, there and everywhere. And what good has he done by flying?
Absolute zero. He's done to this country since he's been Prime Minister from day one. He's going to bring this country down on ground zero.
He's going to bring this country to its knees.
That's what I'm saying.
Him and Rachel Reeves.
Is there absolutely no way that Charles can't give people like them the boot from this place?
No, it's nothing to do with. He's got no call on the. Nothing to do. He's not allowed to interfere with government.
They are isolating Israel from its friends and partners around the world.
King or Queen can't do that.
No.
And damaging the image of the state of
Why has he got no authority to do that?
The only authority he's got is to say yes to the new Prime Minister coming in. Yes, I give you permission to form a government. Or if you're leaving, yes, I give you permission to break up the government. That's all he's got. He's got no other authority about the government.
It is incompatible with the principles that underpin our bilateral relationship. Rejected by members across this House, and frankly,
This man likes the sound of his own voice.
the British people. Therefore, today, I'm announcing that we have suspended negotiations with this Israeli government on a new free trade agreement.
Oh, good.
We will be reviewing cooperation with them under the 2030 bilateral roadmap. The Netanyahu's government's actions have made this necessary, Madam Deputy Speaker. Today,
Well, all these conflicts by dictators, the things they do, it's absolutely unnecessary.
Well, you look at them all, Jordan.
Can we just restore peace to the
They're
planet?
all countries that have got dictators.
the people of Israel, I want a strong
All the problems comes from governments that have got dictators, because they think that they can do what they like when they like.
people and societies.
And if anybody says no to them,
We are
War.
unwavering in our commitment to your security and to your future, to countering
You bring destruction,
the scourge of
harm, and
evils of our
death.
etc. on innocent people to try and get on with normal life, and you make hell on earth for them.
relationship with your government. And as the Prime Minister has said,
I mean,
Israel pursues this military
what a pair of
as it has threatened.
I mean,
bunch of bastards, honestly.
Israel's bombed Gaza until there's nothing left. Putin's bombed Ukraine until there's nothing left.
Yep.
What is the point?
The UK, Mr. Speaker, will not
All for a little bit of land.
two-state solution.
Why the hell don't they just cease fire?
Recognise and at peace with their neighbours, free from the threat of terrorism.
But I say it goes back to someone like Hitler. All he wanted was to take over Europe, and he very nearly did, apart from England.
The two-state solution remains.
Well, he did want to really take over the world, let alone not just Europe.
For just and lasting peace. But as the House knows, its very viability is
He
impaired.
very nearly did.
Endangered not only by the war in Gaza,
He had the whole of
but
Europe.
spread of illegal
He didn't have
Israeli
us.
settlements and outposts.
No.
Then he moved into Norway and
The
Finland,
explicit
up
support
north,
of this Israeli
and then he
government.
moved over to Africa, which is where my dad was fighting.
Meetings to approve new settlement construction. Settlement approval has accelerated,
Crazy, just-
while settler violence has soared. Here too,
That person with that amount of power behind them to cause that much mayhem to the rest of the planet.
Well, look at what Trump's doing. He's causing chaos all over the world at the moment.
To bolster support for the Palestinian Authority.
Come on, you've had enough of it. You've had your 5 minutes.
But here too we must do more.
We know what you want to do. We know what you're going to do.
Sanctions on a further 3 individuals and 4 entities involved in the settler movement.
He was one of the top names to be Prime Minister.
Of settler violence, the fear of its victims,
He didn't make the cut though.
Today we are demonstrating again that we will continue to act against those who are carrying out heinous abuses of human rights. Madam Deputy Speaker, despite the glimmer of hope from January,
Well, if you manage to prison people like Putin, they don't deserve no human rights whatsoever. String them up by a flipping, string them up on the on a wall, something chained up to a wall or something or other,
history will judge them.
or the noose.
Blocking aid, expanding the war, dismissing the concerns of your friends and partners. This is indefensible and it must stop. I commend this statement to the House.
Do they think that this is going to stop Israel bombing Gaza because we're not talking to them anymore? No chance.
I say, all this doesn't get you anywhere sometimes.
Blockade of aid into Gaza. They have also summoned the Israeli ambassador, Tzipi Tovnei.